Welcome to part 4 of our video, which is titled Regulatory Appointments, Securities and Exchange Commission. Just like I pointed in the part 3, I would be bringing a lot of facts before you when it comes to the regulatory appointments. And currently I am 37. And one thing I have clearly understood is that the regulatory appointments are happening, or one of the biggest factor when it comes to play in regulatory appointments is your political connections, your talent, your impartial attitude, your truthfulness, your honesty. This is completely disregarded, and I have an evidence. I'll once again take this book into consideration, and let me speak page number 72 of this book. After completing his MBA at Wharton in 1979, Gensler was hired at age 21 by Goldman Sachs. It was there he honed his skills for bluff and negotiation, working on a big ticket media deals like National Football League to the tune of 3.6 billion. Every 2 years, Goldman unearths a new crop of partner. I'll take a break here. Goldman Sachs is known to have a partner program. It is not Goldman, rather, all big American banks are known to have a partnership program, which means that you will act as a partner. Generally speaking, partners are of two types. Number one is the revenue partner. Now, revenue partner is a person who brings revenue in the firm. In the banks, revenue partner means he bring deals in the business. Now that deals depends in which part you are partner. So if you are a partner in M&A, which is investment banking, then you would be bringing the deal in the bank. So example, like Microsoft bought one company very recently. So all those partners, basically the revenue partners, their job is to bring that deal to the Goldman or maybe any other bank they are working. And whatever revenue they are bringing, of course, they get some basic salary plus allowances, plus they would be getting some commission out of it. Or maybe you can say as a bonus. Commission is a cheap word because American banks use this as a bonus. Practically speaking, this is commission. So every 2 years, Goldman unearths a new crop of partner to share in its vast profit. And at 30, Gensler was invited to join this club. At the same time, he was the second youngest partner in the firm's 110-year history, behind only private equity magnate Chris Followers, who joined the same week and was born a few days before him. So, at the age of 30, Gary Gensler, the current chairperson of Securities and Exchange Commission, I repeat, current chairperson of Securities and Exchange Commission, was the partner in Goldman Sachs. More importantly, if you go to page number 72, it is clearly mentioned that a few years after making partner, Chancellor was dispatched to Tokyo to run FICC, Fixed Income Currency and Commodities Trading Business. Trading business. By then, he oversaw trading yen based swaps, the very instruments Haynes and his counterpart bought and sold. Now, the Hayes means the person who got convicted basically in the LIBOR manipulation. I'm not saying he not did that. He did that, but there are many others also who did that. He was a scapegoat, but unfortunately, he couldn't defend himself. Anyways, Gary Gensler. Now, the background is that Gary Gensler is ex Goldman and he was taking care of the FICC desk of Goldman Sachs. Now, when it comes to FICC, you deal fixed income, currency, and commodities. Now, let me bring one evidence before you. Now, this is the 10K of Goldman Sachs. You can see, and this is submitted to Securities and Exchange Commission every year. You see the thickness of this 10K. It is both side prints. Now here also, see the thickness. It is both side print and I read this on daily basis. Now before I continue with 10K, let me first tell you what the hell is 10K. 10K is nothing but the annual report of American corporations. It's not about Goldman Sachs, whether it is Apple, whether this is Microsoft, whether this is Facebook, whether this is Amazon, everyone having their 10K. And this 10K covers everything about that organization. In many cases, like Goldman, we have around 700 pages of 10K. Probably as their business expand, as their business grew, they might cross 1000 pages also. So there is a substantial, I repeat, substantial information which is provided in the 10K. But unfortunately, 99% of the business school and 99% of the people do not study 10K. The reason being they don't have time to study the 10K and they are not interested because 10K is a very technical document. So you can see that the 10K which is produced by Goldman Sachs, which is widely available on their website. It is a public document. It's not a private document which they do not want to disclose. So it's a public document and I also downloaded it from their website. It contains substantial information, including the derivatives. So let me bring something for you. When the big banks in the world like Goldman, JP, Citi, and many, they take two kind of position. Now, the one kind of position they take is the prop position. Now, prop position means their own money. One side they take client position, which is called market making. So what exactly is the difference? When they take prop position, so suppose GPP is 1.3516, assume it. And Goldman feel that GBP will go to 1.40 because Goldman feel that gold will touch 2000. So GPP will go 1.33, 1.40, which precisely means 5 big figures from here. Goldman bet on this. And if they're betting on a prop money, which means proprietary money, this is their own capital, which means assume the horizon of this is 3 months. And Goldman willing to bet 4 billion, say $400 million on GBP dollar. This is Goldman internal call. And by the way, this call is taken always under the jurisdiction of ALCO, Asset and Liability Committee. Now, if Goldman have taken this call, they would be investing the $400 million in USD GBP, USD dollar. Now, it could be forward contract, which is short term. It could be medium term forward, or it could be long term forward, or it could be spot also. It could be either way, let it be honest. But having said that, Goldman bet on this. But what if their bet proves and GBP go 1.40? Then they would be making 5 big figures, 1.35 to 1.40. 5 big figures, substantial gain on their positions. But this gain will not translate to the client. This gain will come in their books because this is their money. They are going to pay just taxes on that. The gains they will not distribute to the client because this is their own prop money. But what would if they lose? The losses will also come in the books, but this time it will hit the EPS in a negative way. What would if a client approach Goldman and say that I wanted to buy GBP and Goldman feel GBP going up, so Goldman will connect this with a third party, which is counterparty in our parlance, and do some market making. This is market making business. Now Goldman is hardly bothers where the GBP is going. GBP go 1.36, Goldman is okay. GBP go 1.33, Goldman is okay because he just did the market making, which is buyer and the seller. It is also known as intermediation. Sometimes people don't use market making, they use intermediation as a term. So more or less they are same. Let it be honest. Now, Goldman Sachs and the big banks do both. They do market making, they do prop positions. Now, when they take prop positions or market making, since they are big banks, systematically important banks, by the way, this definition SIB is subject to huge debate, let it be honest. But anyways, they would be taking position in few selective derivative instrument. Now, these selective derivative instrument in which they would be taking up the positions is actually already decided in the system. That is the more important thing. So two kind of positions the bank take. Number one is definitely the prop positions, which means their own capital, which they are taking. Number two is definitely the client money. In case of client money, if they win, they give a substantial share to their client. But if they lose, there is an agreement between them and client. I see you in the part 5th to give you a realistic look of 10K. Have a great time ahead.